Good morning to one and all. This is Nagajyoti, working as an assistant professor in Department of ECE in St. Peter's Engineering College. So today in this session, I want to discuss about a concept called as dot determination, or it is also called as dot convention. So what is the need for studying the concept of dot convention? So as we have discussed in the previous session about the mutual inductance, the sign of mutually induced voltage depends upon the direction of winding of the coil. So whatever the winding direction will be there, that winding direction will determine the mutually induced voltage. So but it is difficult to give the information about the winding direction of the coil. So whenever the supplier is supplying some component, let me take an example of a transformer. On the transformer, just we know that which is a primary winding and which is a secondary winding, but they didn't specify anything in such a way that in which way the mutual induced voltage direction is there. So whatever the direction of winding is there, that winding, depending upon the direction of the winding, we need to find out the polarity of mutually induced voltage. So as the supplier is not giving clear information about the winding information of mutually induced voltage, will be using a concept called as dot convention. So the dot convention is used for indicating the direction of winding of mutual induced voltage. So in order to understand the concept of dot convention, we must know the two rules of a dot convention. So this dot convention is basically used in order to identify the direction of mutual induced voltage winding. So in this case, as I am saying that as it is mutual induced, mutual itself indicates this circuit should have two inductances. So here for one inductance the number of turns are N1 and the inductance is L1. Similarly for the second one the inductance is L2 and the number of turns are N2. So whenever the current applied is for the first terminal, due to that it induces self inductance as well as it induces the mutual inductance in the opposite coil. So here if we observe this, here we are taking two coils. These two coils is having current flowing through the coil 1 is I1 and current flowing through the coil 2 is I2. So due to the only I1, it will induce the flux of phi 11 as well as phi 12. Similarly, due to only I2, it will induce phi 22 as well as phi 21. But in which direction the mutual induced voltage in which direction the mutual induced voltage winding is present, that can be found out by using this dot convention. So here if I1 current is entering as well as I2 current is entering, if both the currents are entering, then the mutual inductance is given as positive sign. Similarly, if I1 current is entering and I2 current is leaving, then it is represented by a negative sign. So if both the currents are entering from dot to coil or coil to dot, then it is called as positive. Similarly, if both the currents are in the opposite direction, then mutually induced voltage will be of negative. So the only things which we need to remember here over here is, if the current directions of both are in the same, then it is positive. If the current directions are different, then it is a negative for the mutual inductance. So here let me take the example for the dot convention. So here in this example I am saying that it consists of two coils, one is L1 and the second one is L2, and the dot is present at the L1, that is first dot followed by the winding. So here I am assuming that the current I1 is entering. Similarly, The second condition is I am assuming that I2 current is also entering. So I1 current is flowing from dot to coil. Similarly, I2 current is also flowing from dot to coil. So both the currents are flowing, dot followed by coil. The mutual induced voltage here is positive, that is V2 is equivalent to M here is mutual inductance di1 by dt. As already we have discussed that mutual inductance, in the mutual inductance we need to represent opposite current. So here the mutual inductance for the second side is opposite current, which is nothing but I1 current. As both currents are flowing from dot to coil, that is in the same direction, that is the reason here mutual inductance is positive, which is nothing but plus M. Similarly, if we take an example 2, so here the current I1 current is flowing from dot to coil, but I2 current is flowing from coil to dot, that is both are entering, but I1 current is first entering with dot followed by a coil, but I2 current is first entering to the coil followed by the dot. So I1 current is dot to coil, I2 current is coil to dot. That is the reason here we are representing the mutual inductance as negative. So here when the current is flowing in the opposite direction through the windings, then the mutual inductance is negative. Similarly, if you see the example 3, so here I2 current is flowing from coil to dot, but I1 current is flowing from dot to coil. You may have a doubt in such a way that we have represented only I2 direction, where is an I1 direction. So always the current will flow from higher potential to lower potential. So here higher potential is nothing but positive, lower potential is nothing but negative. So here the current direction which is represented as I2, the same way I1 is also represented, that is I1 is also entering, but I1 is entering first dot followed by coil, but I2 is coil followed by dot, as both are in the opposite direction. So the induced voltage, that is V1 is equivalent to minus M, minus here represents opposite winding current. So here as we are writing the expression for V1, the opposite current is I2 current, that is the reason we are writing V1 is equivalent to minus di2 by dt, or in simple words I can say that V1 is equivalent to L1 di1 by dt minus M into di2 by dt, because of the presence of self current as well as mutual current, but here I am concentrating only on the mutual inductance polarity. Similarly, if we take the last example, in this example I2 current is flowing from coil to dot. Similarly, I1 current is also flowing from coil to dot. Whenever they didn't specify any flow of direction of current, always the current will flow from higher potential to lower potential. So here higher potential is nothing but positive terminal, lower potential is nothing but negative. So I1 current is also flowing from positive to negative, that is first it is entering to the coil followed by the dot. Similarly, I2 current is also first entering to the coil followed by dot, as both are coil to dot, the mutual inductance is M. As I am writing the expression for voltage across the L1 coil, so V1 is equivalent to plus M, opposite current is I2 current, so di2 by dt. So here just we need to remember the things of only two, that is if the current directions are same, if both I1 and I2 currents are entering from winding to dot or dot to winding, if both are in the same direction, then mutual inductance is positive. If one is dot to coil and the other one is coil to dot, then it is negative. So now let me see how to write down the dot convention if the coils are connected in series. So here in the first one, in this circuit we are having two coils, one is L1 coil and the other one is L2 coil. Remember one thing, whenever we are taking two coils into the consideration, that coil is having two inductances, one is self inductance and the second one is mutual inductance. So here due to the L1 there is some self inductance which is nothing but L1, due to L2 there is self inductance which is nothing but L2, and here M represents the mutual inductance. So if we observe here, the current I is flowing from dot to coil. The second also, in the second also, the current is flowing from dot to coil. As both are flowing in the same direction, that is the current I is flowing from dot to coil in both the cases, that is the reason here we are representing it as total inductance is L1 plus L2 plus 2M. Now if we observe here, and always the mutual inductance is present in between the two coils. Whenever the inductance which is induced between the two coils, that inductance is called as a mutual inductance. So here if the total inductance is plus, then such a combination is called as series aiding connection. Similarly, if we observe the second one, in this case the current I is flowing from dot to coil in L1, but in case of second coil the current I is flowing from coil to dot. The first is dot to coil, second is coil to dot. That is the reason the mutually induced voltage is having a sign of negative sign. So the overall inductance is L1 plus L2 minus 2M. And why we are representing here 2 over here? As we are having two dots over here, we need to represent the mutual inductances for both the things separately. So here the first coil mutual inductance is minus M. Similarly, the second coil dot is also having other more mutual inductance which is M. As both are in the opposite direction, we are representing it as negative. Now let us see whatever the conditions which we have seen for the dot convention till now. Let us write down only the equations from those dot conventions. So these are the examples how to write down the equations by involving the mutual inductance into the consideration by taking a concept of dot convention. Now here I am not going to solve any unknown currents or unknown voltages, just I am practicing you to write down the equation with a mutual inductance with the concept of dot convention. So in this case, if we observe here, it consists of two loops, that is first loop, second loop. In the first loop we are having the current I1, and in the second loop we are having the current of I2. Please try to see this circuit. If you are able to write down the expression, you can able to easily solve the unknown currents by using the concept of dot convention. Finding out the unknown currents is not a difficulty task, but writing the corresponding KVL equations of mutual inductance with dot conventions is important. So that is the reason in this session I am going to discuss only how to write down the expressions for the mutual inductance by using a dot convention method. Now as we have seen that it consists of two loops, one is I1 current and the other is I2 current. Now let me write down the KVL equation for first loop. So whenever we are writing this KVL, as in case of a BEE, we have studied the flow of direction of current from plus to minus, minus to plus. No need to remember all those things, just remember in such a way that first write down whatever the currents which are related for the first loop. So here in the first loop we are having the elements of R1, JA and R2. So R1 plus R2 plus JA. For all these three elements, the current which is flowing, common current which is flowing is I1 current. So R1 plus R2 plus JA into I1. And similarly, in case of an R2, as R2 is in between I1 and I2, as we are writing the loop equation for the first one, there is some current which is flowing in R2. In R2, I1 current is flowing as well as I2 current is flowing. but I1 current is from JA to R2, but I2 current is R2 to JB. As both the currents are in the opposite direction, we can write down R2 into I1 minus I2, or as already I have written R2 into I1, I need to write down the second term as minus R2 into I2, which I have didn't wrote over here, but I need to include R1 plus R2 into JA into I1 minus R2 into I2. Now, as we have seen all the components related to the loop 1. Now, let me take the dot. So, here the importance of this dot is dot represents it is a mutual inductance. Remember one thing, whenever you are writing a loop equation, see that how the current is flowing in that dot. So, here in case of loop 1, there is one dot, that dot is having some mutual inductance of value of M. So, here the reference current is I1 current. Whatever the loop equation you are writing, that is our reference current. So, here the reference current is I1 current. I1 current is flowing from dot to coil. So, in the first loop we are having one dot, that dot, the current flowing through that dot is dot to coil. But whenever we are writing the mutual inductance, we need to write down the opposite current. So, here the opposite current is nothing but I2 current. So, here in case of the opposite dot, the current is flowing from coil to dot. In the first, I am repeating, in the first loop the dot is there, in that the current, the reference current is I1, because I am writing the expression for KVL first loop. So, the I1 current is flowing from dot to coil, but the opposite current is flowing from coil to dot. As both are in opposite, as just now we have discussed that if the currents are flowing in the opposite direction, the mutual inductance is having a negative value. That is the reason here I am writing minus M. And whenever we are writing the expression for the mutual inductance, always for the mutual inductance we need to write down the opposite current. So, the opposite current for the loop 1 is I2. That is the reason here I am writing it as minus N into I2, and the voltage which is applied for the first loop is Vs. So, the first loop equation is R1 plus R2 into JA into I1 minus R2 into I2 minus M into I2 equal to Vs. Similarly, we need to write down the KVL equation for the loop 2. So, in case of a loop 2, we are having the elements as R2 plus JB plus R3. So, in all these three elements, I2 current is flowing. So, I am writing R2 plus R3 plus JB into I2. But in case of R2, there is some other current which is flowing, which is nothing but I2 minus I1. As I have already written R2 into I2, leftover is I1, that is minus R2 into I1. So, coming to the dot, here in the second loop, the current is flowing from coil to dot. That is, the reference current is now coil to dot, but the opposite dot is flowing from dot to coil. So, as both are in the opposite, we are having a inductance of negative sign. So, minus M. And as I have told you that mutual inductance is always represented with opposite current. So, the opposite current for loop 2 is loop 1. That is the reason we are writing here minus M into I1. As we are not applying any external voltage source for loop 2, that is equal to 0. Similarly, let me go for the next more example. Now, please remember one thing, how many number of examples which you can solve to write down only the expression of dot convention is very important rather than solving the unknown currents. So, that is the reason here I am concentrating only the KVL equations of the dot conventions for mutual inductance. Similarly, now if you see here also it consists of two loops. One is loop 1 I1 current, second is loop 2 I2 current. Now, in case of loop 1, we are having a voltage source Vs. That is the reason the complete equation should be equal to Vs, and the elements which are present in case of the loop 1 are R1, Ja and Jb. So here R1 plus Ja plus Jb into I1, but Jb is present in between I1 and I2, so Jb can be written it as Jb into I1 minus I2, but as already we have written Jb related with I1, the leftover is minus Jb into I2. And similarly, if we observe here, the dots present over here is, we are having two dots, one is in between 1 and 2 and the other one is 1. Whenever we are writing the mutual inductance, if we are writing for the first dot, we need to see the current in the opposite dot. So here I want to write down the expression for the first dot. So the first dot, that is the reference current is I1, which is flowing from dot to coil. The second, in the second dot also the I1 current is flowing from dot to coil. So in the first one also current is flowing from dot to coil, second also current is flowing from dot to coil. That itself indicates the mutual inductance is positive. That is the reason here I am writing plus M. But opposite current, as I am writing the mutual inductance for the first dot, in the first dot the current is only I1, but in the second dot the current is I1 minus I2, so I am writing plus M into I1 minus I2. Similarly, if I am writing for the second dot, the current flowing in the second dot, I1 current is flowing from dot to coil. That is the reason the first dot is also current flowing is also dot to coil. So here plus M, but the opposite current is I1. So R1 plus Ja plus Jb into I1 minus Jb into I2 plus I1 minus I2 plus Mi1 equal to Vs. Coming to the loop 2, we are having an elements of R2 minus Jc plus Jb. So in all these three elements the current flowing is I2. So R2 plus Jb minus Jc into I2. But in Jb, I2 current as well as I1 current is flowing. As both the currents are in the opposite direction, Jb into I2 minus I1. As already we have written for I2, leftover is only for I1, so minus Jb into I1. Now the reference current now is I2, so the I2 current is flowing from coil to dot, but opposite current, that is in the other dot the current is flowing from dot to coil. In the present dot, I2 current is flowing from coil to dot. In the previous one, the current is flowing from dot to coil. As both the currents are in the opposite way, the mutual inductance is negative sign. Reference current here is I2. I2 is flowing from coil to dot. But in the first, the other dot is I1 current is flowing from dot to coil. As both I1 and I2 are flowing in the opposite direction, the mutual inductance is minus. And in case of a mutual inductance, as we need to write down the opposite current for I2 is I1, so we are writing minus M into I1 equivalent to 0. Similarly, the third example is, here same thing, it consists of two loops. First loop I1 current, second loop I2 current. So in the first loop the elements which we are having is R1 and Ja. So R1 plus Ja into I1, and in Ja current flowing is I1 as well as I2. As both are in the opposite direction, Ja into I1 minus I2. As we have already written for I1, so I need to write down minus Ja into I2. Now coming to the dot is present in between the loop 1 and loop 2. So here as I am writing the equation for first loop, the reference current is I1 current. I1 current is flowing from dot to coil. Similarly, in the second dot, the current I2 is flowing from dot to coil. That is, I1 is dot to coil, I2 is also dot to coil. As both are flowing in the same direction, the inductance is plus M. For mutual inductance, as we need to write down the opposite current for I1 is I2. That is the reason here I am writing plus Mi2 equal to Vs. Similarly, coming to the second loop, we are having the elements of R2 plus JB plus JA into I2. But in case of JA, along with I2, there is some other current flowing, which is nothing but I1. As I2 and I1 both are flowing in the opposite direction, the expression is minus JA into I1. Now in the second loop, as we are having two dots, we need to write down two mutual inductance. If I am writing the mutual inductance for the dot which is present in near to the JA, we need to write here the reference current is I2. So here I2 current is flowing from coil to dot, but in the other it is flowing from dot to coil, as both are in the opposite. I am repeating once again. In the second loop, we are having two dots. I am writing the expression for first dot which is near to the JA. So in case of a JA, the current I2 is flowing from coil to dot, but the other dot current is flowing from dot to coil, coil to dot, dot to coil. As both are in opposite, the mutual inductance over here is minus M. And as the current which we need to write down is opposite current, as I am writing the mutual inductance near to JA, I need to write down the current which is to the other dot. So in the opposite dot, the current flowing is only one current, which is nothing but I2 current. So minus M into I2. Similarly, if I want to write down the mutual inductance for dot which is present near to JB, so in case of JB, near to JB, the current is flowing from dot to coil, but in the opposite it is flowing from coil to dot. As both are in opposite, I need to write down a negative sign which is minus M. But as I am writing the mutual inductance minus M, that is the dot is which is present near to the JB, so I need to write down the opposite current, that is the dot which is opposite to the JB is I2 minus I1. So that is the reason here I am writing minus M into I2 minus I1 equal to 0. Coming to the next example, here also we are having two loops, but in the first loop we don't have any dot. That itself indicates we can blindly write down that the elements followed by the currents. So R1 plus R2 minus JC into I1, and as R2 is in between I1 and I2, we are having the next more term as minus R2 into I2, which is equivalent to voltage source Vs. Coming to the second loop, we are having two dots. First write down for elements JA plus JB into R2 into I2, but R2 is in between I1 and I2. We will be getting other more term minus R2 into I1. Now let me write down the mutual inductance for first JA. So in the dot is present near to the JA, in that the current flowing is I2 current. The I2 current is flowing from dot to coil. So now we need to check for the opposite dot. There current is flowing from coil to dot. Reference current is I2. Near JA, the current is flowing dot to coil. At JB, the current flowing is coil to dot. Both are in the opposite, so I need to write down minus M. Minus M. And here the JA, the current which is flowing opposite towards JA is I2. So minus M into I2. Similarly, if I am writing the mutual inductance near to the JB, in case of a JB, the dot is from coil to dot, but in the other dot is dot to coil, as both are in the opposite minus, but whatever the current which is flowing in the coil 2 is only the I2 current, because both the dots are present only towards the second loop. So that is the reason minus Mi2 is equivalent to minus 2Mi2. And the last example for this one, for writing the KVL equations, is here instead of having single mutual inductance, here we are having three mutual inductances. Those three mutual inductances are M1, M2 and M3. So here, before going for the mutual inductance, first let me write down the KVL equations for elements. So R1 plus R2 plus JA plus JC into I1, and R2 and JC are in between I1 and I2, so I will be getting minus of R2 plus JC into I2. And coming to the mutual inductances, M3 is present for loop 1, M1 is also present for loop 1. So here, in order to write down the M3, we need to check down how the current is flowing. So in case of M3, the current is flowing from dot to coil, but in the opposite, that is at the M1, the current is flowing from coil to dot. So as both are flowing in the opposite, that is M3 is dot to coil, M1 is coil to dot, we will be getting the mutual inductance as negative. So minus M3, and the opposite current is I2 current. So minus M3 into I2. Now I want to write down the mutual inductance near to JC. So in case of a JC, the current is flowing from coil to dot, but the current flowing at JA is dot to coil, as both are in the opposite direction, which is nothing but minus M1, and the current which is flowing to the other is I1 only. So that is the reason we need to write down only the I1. So minus M1 into I1. Now similarly, in order to write down the next more equations, here we need to check how the current is flowing from first dot towards the second dot, followed by the opposite current. So this is how to write down the KVL equations by using the dot convention rules. That is, if both the currents are entering in the same direction, the mutual inductance is positive, but the current flowing towards the mutual inductance should be represented with opposite current. If both the currents are entering in the opposite direction, then mutual inductance sign is negative followed by an opposite sign. This is how to write down the KVL equations for mutual inductance by using a dot convention method. Thank you.